Welcome in, everyone. Another edition of Kash and Matty Talkin Golf. I'm Steve Cashel. This is Matt Smith. We like to break it down. We got a lot to do. We got a great guest today as well, talking about Chicago golf gals.
What a guest. Good conversation coming up here with Rose Zamora. Yes. We're gonna keep it local.
As always.
We're gonna keep it local. Talk about what's going on here in the Chicagoland. And we will wrap today with equipment banter. Got some rangefinder discussion.
Yes, a really cool rangefinder, something I've not seen yet on the market that is direct to consumer, which is really cool. So
got our hands on that.
That's great stuff.
Steve,
I love it.
This was this yesterday? I'm losing track of days. It was yesterday or just the day prior. You were on a phone call and you said this to me. You said, Matt, I played a round recently without my own clubs.
Yes.
With some different gear. And I said, Steve, that is an interesting discussion. Let's just lead with that. Steve, tell us about this round. Was it a round? Was it a range session?
One round of golf.
That.
Well, I went with my wife to Florida, Orlando. We were staying at Reunion Resort, which has 3 terrific golf courses, the Palmer course, the Watson course, and Nicholas course. I got on the Watson course. It was 85 degrees, not an ounce of wind. Man. I had the whole course to myself. The greens were perfect. They were fast. I stretched it out to over 4 hours just playing by myself.
That's your type of day right there.
I love it. I'd rather play with friends and buddies and you, but I was by myself. My wife was at the pool, and she said, go enjoy your day of golf.
She kicked you out.
I did, but I didn't bring my clubs, all right? Reason is, it's a hassle now sometimes. When you go and know you're going to play one round.
Yeah, I get it.
All right, so I borrowed my brother-in-law's clubs out of his garage, and he's got a lot of different sets. He's in the golf business.
Sure.
And so I was picking a driver and picking a 3-wood, or I'll take this wedge. And I brought 2 putters out, and I found some balls. I actually brought my own golf shoes.
Okay.
My nice Cash ball marker.
Oh,
Not
of
that
course
I'm really
you brought your own. He brought his own.
I don't need to mark your ball anymore if you're playing alone, right? That's an interesting
sure.
conversation. But no. All right, so I had a borrowed set, a set that I never played with. And driver, it was tough because I think you really have to get custom fit for that, compared to anything else, along with, but I found a set of irons, so I had a nice range session. I hit balls for about 40 minutes, but it was different, and I shot pretty well. I shot an 85, which is really good for me, okay, but Matt, it was different because I didn't have my own set. I missed my own set, and I used 1 putter on the front 9.
What about the glove?
The glove,
I brought a glove.
I brought a glove. I brought my glove and shoes, okay, and my divot repair, and a ball marker. That's what I brought with me on the trip. But other than that, it was all borrow stuff. When was the last time you had a rental or borrow set?
It's been a while. It's been a long while. It was my honeymoon.
Really?
Oh my gosh, it's been a while. It was 2016, and we were in Ireland, and it was uncomfortable playing with some different stuff. It was nice gear. It was all tailor-made, but yeah, totally not. I mean, it's just so strange when you look down at an iron and you're used to seeing the same like top line profile. Sure. Whatever it is for you, and then it's drastically different or even a little bit different. It was uncomfortable, but it was 2016, the Island Golf Club just north of Dublin.
Yeah. It's tough, when you're going to just play one round on a trip because it's like $75 now with the airline.
It's a big deal one, it's the money, and it's just the hassle, the effort.
It is.
For one round.
I now like to bring my luggage. We went on a 4-day trip, all right? So it was a carry-on, and everyone brings their carry-ons now. I don't think there's anybody that's checking bags anymore. I mean, like every person on the plane is carry-on because they now charge, even on Southwest Airlines, for the luggage. That's one of the reasons that if I'm going to go play one round, I'm not going to bring my own golf clubs. I'll even rent instead in case I don't have someone that can borrow from. But it's one of those things.
You said your brother-in-law, right?
Yes.
How many of his golf balls, and he may hear this, how many of his golf balls did you lose?
I think I found 3 but lost 2, I want to say. I played pretty well.
Up 1. You gained him a golf ball.
Exactly.
Very good. How about we get into keeping it local?
Yes.
Let's do that. This is brought to our listeners and our watchers by Hattie's Club, our good friends out in Rosemont. The Rosemont Ice Arena. We wanted to bring attention to their location as we've talked about it. We love this spot, but just a great place for groups in the Rosemont area for post-graduation. It's graduation season, and if there's a venue that's got great food, great drinks, a unique venue in an ice arena, I think that'd make for I mean, what do you think?
Well, we have to explain it sometimes to people because it is an ice arena with 2 sheets of ice. It's a brand new ice arena right next to the Allstate Arena. Yes. I always like to call it the Rosemont Horizon. When I was growing up, it was the Rosemont Horizon, but it's the Allstate Arena. And this restaurant is beautiful. You go up the stairs. They got a little coffee bar area. And then this beautiful bar, this $400,000 pizza oven that makes beautiful, wonderful pizzas in about, 6-8 minutes.
Yeah.
An incredible bar with a great bourbon selection. So Hattie's does it right. They've got a place in Mount Prospect. We love Hattie's Club.
They got a few.
And it's fantastic. So, and they've got side rooms, whether you're going to have a pre-party for your concert at Allstate Arena.
You could do that,
just walking across the parking lot to Allstate Arena, or as Matt said, if you have a post-grad party.
It's graduation time, It would just make a great spot to go. Look it up, Hattie's Club. They're on all the socials. Look them up online. Great place to check out.
Absolutely. Yeah. What else is local?
Well, we haven't done this for a while. This specific bit of this little segment where we've played recently. We'll just have a quick chat on that where we've been.
You've played some rounds, haven't you?
I've played a little bit of golf.
I saw your notes. Go ahead.
I'll tell you, and I'll make sure everyone knows. It's been fun. I have played a little bit of golf recently, but Preserve at Oak Meadows.
Great place.
First time for me playing there, and I...
Ever?
Yeah, ever.
Oh, gosh. I play a few times a year there. Love that golf course.
I really enjoyed it. The conditions were great. Big challenge. A lot of what I remember, well, there's a lot to say about it, but just really good par threes. Big par threes and just spacious. Spacious track out there. Where else have I played? Mount Prospect. What do you know? I'm, the local spot, Mount Prospect. Played Bartlett Hills.
For the first time?
No, second time.
Okay.
It had been a while.
Yeah.
And I have to say this. Over the last few episodes, we've talked Bartlett Hills a little bit, right? You and I. And you've mentioned your friends more so than you, or you as well, your nemesis hole being number 8.
Yes, that's a tough hole.
Watch this. I don't know if I shared this with you yet. So we played, it was an outing, so we're playing a scramble. But I might have solo birdied. By might, I did.
You hit it left, or did you hit it down the middle?
Down the middle, and I solo birdied number 8. So as soon as I knocked the putt in, I thought of you. I was like, I gotta say something about this.
It's all about the tee. If you get the tee shot off because you got out of bounds right, and you got trees hanging to your left, and it just seems like a fairway that's so hard to hit.
Got to find
the
fairway.
More trees down the left, and it's kind of slanted on the fairway.
Yeah,
so
a little bit.
It is a tough hole, but especially off the tee. If you get off the tee, it's a birdieable hole.
What I thought was the most demanding tee shot out there, to me, it felt like number 12.
Oh, yes.
12 felt like you had nothing to hit at.
Yep.
8, to me, felt wide in comparison. 12 was a tee shot out at Bartlett Hills.
It's a great golf course. It really is. People take it for granted, I think. Or, again, I didn't play it for many years. They say, have you been to Bartlett Hills, Steve? And I go, no. And they go, take your buddies out there and go play Bartlett Hills. And you know what? Now I go back 4 or 5 times a year because
we've got
really
good friends
enjoy
out there now.
Yeah.
It's, our the show we just did out there, that was great. So, not so much a hidden gem anymore. I really think not just us putting it on the map in ways, but what they're doing. They got the place looking great. Few more real quick. Canal Shores finally got to play the Evans at Canal Shores.
Right next to Northwestern University.
I could spend an hour talking about it. We'll save that for another time. I loved it. And then Thunderhawk.
I haven't been out there in a long time.
Yeah, what a time. It was GOAT, Golf on NET. It was GOAT's big outing on a Saturday, a couple Saturdays ago. Played with some friends, and it was chilly to start the round. It was cold early. Warmed up some as the day went. It was a great time. Love Thunderhawk. Steve, how about yourself? That's my list. I got a list there. Where have you played of late?
I got up to Ravislow Country Club, which I love.
You were always...
Love Ravislow.
You've got a room there, I'm convinced.
Oh, it used to be an all-private club, and my swing instructor, James Standhart from Golf Tech, just said he was going out there. He said, I love Ravislow. I said, we haven't talked about that in a while. But Ravislow, it's all public now. It's been all public for 15 years. Steve Dell and his group do a wonderful job. It's an old private country club, Donald Ross course. So love that place. Where else have I played? I played Bartlett Hills already. I'm trying to think. Well,
you've got Mount Prospect coming up.
Mount Prospect coming up. I'm looking forward to that. I just played in Florida, as we mentioned. So there was 1 or 2 other rounds. I think I've played 4 or 5 rounds. Weather hasn't been great.
Yeah, it's been hit or miss, up and down.
Yep. But I've really enjoyed it. And I played Phillips Park, one of my favorite places. Again, another place kind of like Bartlett Hills where you don't think a lot about it until you go there, because I didn't think a lot about Phillips Park, all right, for years and years. And they say, have you been to Phillips Park lately? And I go, Phillips Park in Aurora, I got to get out there. And now
it's on your rotation now,
like once a month.
It's on your rotation. I know it is.
It's a great price. It's a fabulous golf course. It really is. Yeah. And we're having a lot of fun out there. So, yeah, I've got my favorites. 7 Bridges I got to get out to this year. Whitetail Ridge I love. There's so many. I love the Elgin courses.
I'm excited that you're playing Mount Prospect this week. I can't wait to recap that and get your unique lens and your perspective on MPGC these days.
Yep, and I hate to leave anyone out. I mean, I'm thinking about White Pines, and there's so many great golf courses everywhere.
Yeah.
What else is local, Matty?
Local, so the PGA Professional Championship took place April 26th to 29th. That's at Bandon Dunes out in Oregon. I wanted to, how is that local? That's out in Oregon. Here's how it's local. There were 9 Illinois PGA pros that competed.
That's great.
4 made the cut.
Wonderful.
4 guys were out there making the cut, and we had a top finisher out of Illinois was a T21, 21st place, Jeff Kellen. You know Jeff? You ever met Jeff?
I have.
North Shore Country Club these days out in Glenview.
And he was on top of the leaderboard in top 5 for a while in that tournament. He was making headlines. I was following it on X, the old Twitter, and I kept seeing Jeff Kellen, man. This is great. We got a local guy here
right up there
who is at Bandon Dunes. And you cheer for these guys. I would love to see our local PGA professionals competing. We've got so many great players in the section and playing well and competing on a national level.
Well, for everyone listening here, what that's all about is it's the top 20. It's the top 20 players. I'm pretty sure it's top 10. Is it top 10 or top 20 that get the invite to
PGA
the
Championship?
PGA Championship? Is it 10 or 20? I'm forgetting.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, it's 10 or 20, but that's what that one's all about.
15. We'll split the difference.
There you go. It's 15. That's what we're going to say. But no, just a big event for that reason, because they're competing for the chance to go out and,
it's going to go Aronimink. Right?
Yeah, Aronimink this year. So pretty cool stuff. We want to give some love to Jeff Kellen and there were 9, like I said, 4 making that cut. And what a treat for them to go play. It was 2 of the tracks out at Bandon Dunes. Had to be memorable for everyone. Steve, keeping it local, this is an interesting topic. It is, for every national golf show, whether you're a show or a podcast, everyone's talking about this. We're going to just give our 2 cents here on it. Live Golf may not be, well, we'll see what happens by the time this episode actually releases, but may not be coming to Chicago, may not be coming anywhere going forward. A lot of big Live news of late. Steve, are we going to miss it? Steve, I'm asking you personally, are you going to miss Live Golf Chicago? Tell us.
I am for sure. I'm not a huge Live Golf fan. I won't really watch it on television, but when they were at Rich Harvest Farms, I attended the whole thing. When they were at Bolingbrook Golf Club the last 2 years, I attended almost every day. I love the practice rounds where they let the media in, and then they let the people in, obviously, for the 3 rounds on Friday through Sunday. I tell you, just because I love watching John Rahm, and I know Brooks was out there, and now he's on the PGA Tour. Mickelson was out there. Sergio Garcia, Bryson DeChambeau, and Bryson will hold autograph sessions for the kids for an hour off the putting green, like every day. I highly admire that. So I'm going to miss it. We didn't have a Chicago event scheduled for 2026. The closest one, I think, is down in Indianapolis. But I think Liv's going away. Everything that I've heard, my connections, and these guys aren't getting paid what they thought they were going to get paid, paychecks. Maybe eventually they will, but they're pulling the funds, and I heard it could be 2-3 weeks. I heard they're going to try to stretch it out. They've already, I think, canceled one event in New Orleans. They pushed another one to the fall. And so LIV is dying. And I hope all these players come back on the PGA Tour. I really do, because I think it's good for the PGA Tour to have
players?
all of them. Yeah. I'd love to see Rahm.
I mean, all the players, like beyond your initial list.
Well, you got to qualify.
Okay.
All right. But I'm talking about Rahm in all of the big events, all the signature events that we see Scheffler and Rory and now Cam Young winning.
Yeah.
I want to see Rahm in there. I want to see Bryson in there, right? Maybe
Just
Sergio and
right,
Mickelson are beyond their time, but there's still some really good players that play on LIV. But I think the LIV guys are wondering how they can get back on tour. Good job by Patrick Reed and Brooks to kind of foresee that and say, you know what?
Yeah,
we better jump back on the PGA Tour while we can. So they took advantage of that window that the PGA Tour allowed them. I'm going to miss LIV locally. When it's local, I really enjoyed seeing these guys here in the Access. And I love seeing Bolingbrook Golf Club spotlighted and Rich Harvest Farms. So I think LIV will never come back to Chicago. I'll be really shocked if they continue beyond this year. Anything could happen. And your thoughts about LIV?
Well, very similar. Very similar. And I think our reasons are inherently, as they should be. They're selfish in that the access that we had, one is media, yes. But even as from a fan experience, because I spent some time on the media side out there, but then also without the media access as well. And yeah, it's hard to beat having front row or second row, really close, visuals on Phil hitting shots or any of the guys, right? So yeah, I'll miss it in that regard. The competition, not really, right? I think they ran into a challenge of you have the team.
I don't like the team thing at all.
Well, you have the team event. You're trying to track that.
Don't like
the shotgun start where the drama wasn't taking place where you might expect it. Things weren't ending on the 18th green. So, the product itself from the onset, like I tried to watch early on the first few events, even on TV. And when I'm not captivated by the first few events, and it's new and you should be excited, that felt like a problem. So not really going to miss it as an entire entity, as a unit.
Yeah, and I think some of these guys, Brooks Koepka said, I'm tired of traveling to Australia, to South Africa. He goes, I like the PGA Tour because we travel in the United States instead of taking these 5, sometimes 6, 7, 8 hour flights.
Well, and for the audience,
for one event,
and for the audience, when we would then be consuming it and watching it, the schedule just made no sense from a viewership perspective as well.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking there. It'll be really interesting to see what is going to happen any time now, or maybe by the end of the year. Final bit here on keeping it local. I've made a new friend. Watch this. I have made a new friend with a fellow Matt. He doesn't go by Matty, but Matt Considine. Steve, candidly, have you heard much about New Club?
I've heard of it.
It's called New Club Golf, or just New Club.
I have heard of it. Tell me more.
I will. They are national. They've got chapters in a few different areas. Ohio, a national membership, I believe New York, but specifically their most prominent and growing segment of their club is in Chicago. So this is I'm just going to read a few highlights because picture this. New Club is a private club feel without being tied to one club.
Okay.
You're a part of a community. You're a part of a group of people that have bought in, that love this concept of getting to explore some private golf in the Chicagoland and public. But what I think and what I've learned from Matt and reading into this more is preferred tee times. They have standing times on weekends at places you want to be. Preserve at Oak Meadows, Mount Prospect, Sunset Valley. They've got some private tracks as well. I did want to mention this about New Club, May 30th. And I'm just gonna point everyone towards New Club Golf on Instagram and on socials, newclub.golf for their website to learn more. But They're doing their member guest, what they consider their member guest, at Flossmoor.
Nice.
Golf club coming up. And
Great golf course.
Matt Considine is just raving about, and it sounds like you've played. We've talked about Flossmoor maybe once.
I haven't played there in many years, but it's an all-private club. It was purchased, maybe 6-8 years ago by a private group. And they tried to change some things. They tried to put some music on the first tee, make it more fun.
Oh, out at Flossmoor,
and so, yeah, but it's always been a great track. Always loved Flossmoor Golf Club.
Well, their event on May 30th, they're calling it the Chicago Stinger, which is their member guest. I'm looking here. What's nice about this is their membership. You're going to have some players that are, and Matt has told me that some guys are +5s, like amazing players.
Wow. Yep.
All the way up to 35 handicappers. So it's just about having an avid community of golfers. It's those standing tee times I mentioned, and just that flexibility in the membership. I asked Matt this actually this morning. I said, should I share? I think it's so fair. It's $150 a month, but it gives you just so much access to a community, to the events. If you pay annually, cuts down a little bit, but I just want to give that some love. I think in the Chicago market with the demand, this is why I wanted to talk about it, the demand for golf. Have you felt this as much as the demand for getting tee times?
It's tough.
I think is getting tough around
Good for the
here.
courses, but yeah, I like to play every Friday, and it's sometimes I've told my group, you know what, we got to start looking at least a week in advance. We can't think about Monday, Tuesday.
No,
where we're going to play on Friday, and let's go get a tee time because you're not going to find the time you want.
The idea,
which is great for golf here.
Yeah, it is great. It is great for the courses. It's good if you're have the ability to plan that far ahead. Not everyone can do that. So I think New Club, it caught my attention so much because it sounds like a great way to counter that challenge, that finding tee times, because they've tackled that. They're doing that for you.
It's
so
NEWCLUB?
Yeah, as one word, New Club.
Is it newclub.com?
.golf.
.golf.
Yep, and
newclub.golf.
Socials would be at the old at symbol.
Yep.
At New Club Golf.
It's not an old symbol, is it?
It ain't.
It's a prevalent symbol.
Golly. Well, hey, we got Roe coming on with Chicago Golf Gals. We'll get to that.
Families are invited to hit the links together as the Bensonville Park District launches another season of Jim Giles Family Golf Nights at White Pines Golf Club in Bensonville. Starting at 4:30 p.m. on the third Sunday of each month through September, the event offers a relaxed, family-friendly atmosphere where golfers of all ages and skill levels can enjoy the game together. This is named in honor of former Bensonville Park District Commissioner Jim Giles. Affordable pricing makes the experience accessible for everybody, with juniors ages 17 and under able to play for just $5, adults for only $10, while cart rentals and ride-along options are also available for $10. For more information, visit whitepinesgolf.com/familygolf. Okay, time to bring in our guests for today's podcast. And Matt, we always want to do more with women in golf. That's how we grow the game in certain ways. And how about the Chicago Golf Gals?
Hey, local stuff, and we've talked about them a lot, right? We've referenced the Golf Gals on our show. So today we get the founder here. So very excited about this. Excited to see where the conversation goes.
Let's bring in Ro Zamora, founder of the Chicago Golf Gals. That's Gals, right?
Yes, correct.
Good.
It is gals.
Steve can spell. He's been working on that.
It's gals,
He's
not girls. It's gals.
Good. Hey, how long have you been around? Tell us about the Chicago Golf Gals.
Yes. Thanks for having me, by the way.
Sure.
We've been around for 3 years now. So it's been awesome just seeing the community grow and seeing more women participate. It's been such a joy.
So, Ro, tell us this. Why'd you start it? What prompted it, if you don't mind? 3 years? What got this thing going?
Great question. So it's interesting because the same year that I started Chicago Golf Gals was the same year I also took my first formal golf lesson. Okay. So pretty crazy, turn of events. I took golf pretty seriously, and as I wanted to get out on the course more and play more rounds, I felt like I did not have enough girlfriends to play golf with. I had 2, and they lived an hour away from me. So I did some research and wanted to see if there were other communities in Chicago that would cater to a casual player like me, and kept running into a dead end. So, you know, I kept doing more research. There was more events popping up. I decided one day, I was just sitting on the couch, maybe I'll start an Instagram page. So I made, you know, a Chicago Golf Gals handle, and I wanted to post a meetup at a golf facility, see who just wanted to hang out.
Yeah.
I think over the weekend there was 300 followers. Mind you, I'm not an influencer.
Wow.
I thought that was kind of a big deal.
To get it going.
That's
from the
pretty cool.
couch.
Yeah,
you know,
from the
just sitting
couch.
on the
I was
couch
like,
to
okay,
300.
who are these people?
Did they all show?
No, but there was 15 girls that showed up in the first meetup, and I was like, this is
Solid.
awesome. You know, I've only been doing this for like a week. And a month later, I kind of took it upon myself, why not host an outing? So we hosted one in Bolingbrook and capped it to 50. It sold out in 2 days.
Wow.
And we had another wait list of 40 people. It's like, what the heck?
Like, look at this interest. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So it honestly was just a snowball effect after that. And we started to host a lot more events. But that's
What
pretty
did
much
you-
how it started.
What did you find out from the other women? You know, they were looking for something similar, right, to your interest, and they were looking for other people to play with, or they wanted to maybe form an association or a community.
So, great question. For me, honestly, when I first started it, I just wanted to meet more friends, women to learn how to play golf with, to go out on the course with. And the more events that we started hosting, the more that I learned that everyone has their own reasons for why they joined Chicago Golf Gals. You know, for their own wellness, for some for their own career. They want to take clients out to golf. They want to spend more time with their husband. So a lot of different ways for why people are joining Chicago Golf Gals, I'd say.
Tell us the skill range. You know, golf for anyone can be intimidating, whether you've been in it. Say you've played for a while, it can still be intimidating to show up to a certain event if you're, let's just say your game's not there, or you're feeling a little off with your game. But just tell us about the skill range. Who's coming out? Are we talking about a mixed bag, or
Yeah.
you know?
I'd say 75% of the demographic are players who've just started, you know, 1 to 3 years of experience in golf. So I guess it is catered to a newer player. But we do have a lot of women who played in college, who have more experience, who've been playing since they were kids. And the most common feedback that I've gotten from the experienced players is that they've finally found a place now as an adult, you know, especially if you've been playing your whole life. It's just a different atmosphere being in a competitive space. And now they can just do something more casual with the girls.
Yeah.
So there's something for everyone, no matter your skill level. Yeah.
Sure.
Is there membership requirement? I mean, do they pay for a yearly membership fee to be part of this group?
So not right now. That's actually something that we want to implement in the next year, actually. In the first 3 years of growing Chicago Golf Gals, we didn't want to put, you know, a membership price for anything. You know, the goal really was to just grow the community and make it accessible for women. As you know, golf is very expensive. So for the ladies, all they really do is pay to play. If not, everything is pretty discounted for the events that we're hosting. So there's no membership fees right now. If you join our events, you are part of our community.
Wow.
That's great.
Golf, and I wanted to touch on this. Golf events, of course, plenty of it. But I mean, I've followed along for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
At least a year and a half. Non-golf events as well. You're trying to connect the greater Chicagoland in that way. Give some examples, if you could, on some non-golf events.
So our goal is to obviously grow the game in our own way. And we do that by doing things in a non-traditional way. Now, you have to understand our demographic's completely different. We have women of all ages, all skill levels. They're on different social media platforms, and some have never even picked up a club in their life.
Yeah.
So with the events that we're hosting, we have events on and off the course and events that are golf focused and some that are more wellness based. So, and I'll just give you an idea with what some of these events look like. We've hosted Pilates classes, yoga. We've done pop-ups with local businesses like vintage clothing shops where you can sip and shop, coffee shops. We've done social events, networking events. We host clinics. We have weekly leagues. We have our outings in the summer. So there's something for everyone, no matter how experienced you are in golf.
It looked like a pretty, I mean, I've ran into some of the Chicago golf gals at some simulators this past winter, even on the winter side.
Yeah.
This wasn't the first year of that, was it? The simulator, the indoor focus as well?
The indoor leagues? Yeah, no. We've had that since we started, actually. Okay. And so I started Chicago Golf Gals in June. So a lot of what we were doing to start in the summer were actually range meetups and just playing outside on the course. So once the weather started to get a little crappy because we live in Chicago, we wanted to hit the sims, and so we started leagues right away, actually.
That's fantastic. Now, you have one annual golf outing a year. Is this like your big event?
This is our big annual outing.
When is that, and how many participants? You do a different course each year?
We've had ours at George Dunn, actually, and we've hosted it every September. Because of the President's Club, we may...
President's Cup.
President's Club. Sorry. President's Cup. Because of the President's Cup, we are thinking about moving the date later in the fall. So also another thing to note is that we've had 144 players, and we're looking to double that this year. We've had a pretty crazy wait list the last couple of years where there's a little over 130 women that want to play that don't get to play. So we need to make sure everyone plays.
Yeah. The Chicago Golf Show, I'd imagine, has been, I've seen you there the last 2 years. That a big focus for the team? Is that where you're seeing, I mean, how is the brand, I'm going to call it what it is, the brand, the community, how is it growing so, it feels like quickly?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at not that every time an Instagram follower account, it's not always indicative of the true engagement, but it seems like really genuine, true engagement. Yeah. How is it growing like that in your opinion?
You know, sometimes I have to stop and think about why this is all happening. It's crazy because when I started Chicago Golf Gals, I had no intention of it turning into what it is today.
Something like this, yeah.
Everything was purely organic. You know, obviously now we have more of a push to put our names out there and talk about Chicago Golf Gals and just spread awareness when we can. But honestly, it's the experience of the ladies and how they share it with other people, you know, their husbands, their kids, their girlfriends, and it's all really word of mouth, local. And I think that's what's so great about the community is everyone who is involved with Chicago Golf Gals talks about their experience with Chicago Golf Gals, and I think that's what's helping us grow so much.
Love that.
That's fantastic. So one annual golf outing a year. It's going to be in the fall. What about leagues during the summer?
Yes. So we have 3 sessions from summer to fall, and then 3 sessions from, I guess, early winter to spring is how we do it. They're all 6 weeks, 9 holes. The ladies like 9 holes. We keep it at 9 holes. So we have our summer from June to October, and then our indoor season, which starts in November and ends in May. So we're almost done with our indoor leagues, and we're about to get out on the course in June.
You've figured out that schedule. I mean, the Chicagoland, it's finally, I feel like we're finally like, we're outdoors. Yeah. You know, we started this darn show, it was October 3rd was when our first show started, and we've been cooped up inside, so it's just nice. So good to get out. Before we got on, Ro, I had asked you about some brands or just some groups that have helped, you know, really get Chicago Golf Gals just really, really humming and going. You want to mention them?
Yeah, of course. So with Our on-course league's actually starting in less than a month from now, because it's already, honestly, I feel like the days, it's the 6th of May. Our leagues start on the 1st of June, and we're very grateful. We have an awesome partnership with Troon. So most of our events on course are at Troon managed courses. So that includes Chicago Parks. We have leagues at Robert Black, Sidney Merovitz, South Shore, Jackson Park, George Dunn, where outing was. That is also a Troon managed course with the Forest Preserve. And, we're very grateful. They're able to help us provide more access for the ladies. And it's introduced more casual, accessible, golf courses for a lot of our players who just want something that isn't as intimidating, and the staff is great. So we love working with them.
I got to reach out with this one. Again, Rose Zamora is our guest, founder of Chicago Golf Gals. Do any of the women come and say, I want to introduce you to my husband or my boyfriend or my fiance, and when can we get these people together? Is it strictly all women, or are you thinking beyond of let's have a big party to meet the significant others?
That is interesting that you say that, because most of what I get, it's the other way around. I don't
want my husband here.
It's funny.
Don't bring the boyfriends out.
The guys come to us and they want their wives to be involved. They want their wives to learn. They come to us and they're like, what do we need to do to tell our wives to do this? And I love that the guys want to get involved. I mean, this is obviously a girls' club, which is great. But with our events, there's a lot of ways to get involved. For our annual outing, of course, a lot of the husbands, they man the contest holes.
Good.
They help with check-in. We actually started an internship program last year with Loyola University, and half of the interns are boys. So
fantastic.
There's always something to do.
The Golf Gals, you traveling outside of Chicago some with the crew?
We do waste management, which is fun, a little outside of the norm, something, just a little
more fun. On the PGA Tour in February?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
How many dull event. Sorry.
It's pretty boring.
Very dull event.
It's pretty boring, I would say.
Do you get tickets on the 16th hole?
No, unfortunately not.
Too hard?
I mean, it's free. You could just show.
It's a wait.
It's a wait. It's a long line.
Or get there at 3 a.m. and wait for 3 hours for the doors to open, right?
I mean, we've gotten it 1 year. We've also done, the 17th. We kind of try to rotate around what we do every year based on what the girls can do. But usually with trips like that, we try to golf, 3 to 4 rounds. So we'll play a lot of different courses while we're out there.
You let the whole community know we're planning a trip, and you give the opportunity to come along. Is that how the invite works for the travel?
I would say for a lot of the travel that we've had in the last couple of years, it's been very involved volunteers and leadership. We open it up to everyone, where when there's local events, we can always set up, like meet and greets. And it's a good way to just meet other women through events. So, the President's Cup, the BMW Championship, anything that we have local, it's a good way to just meet other women if you're already attending. So we usually do that. Logistically, it's just been a lot easier. But we do plan on doing more stay-in plays, if that makes sense. So it's kind of something we're planning on doing, more retreat-based events in the future.
Ro, is there a minimum age for a girl?
Our focus right now, and I would say I think this just has to do with the timing of our events, since it's after work, are typically, post-grad to retirees.
Okay.
I would say. But it is awesome that a lot of parents are, showing their daughters what it's like to be part of a community like this, and that they're not alone. If they keep it up with golf, they will have friends, and there is a path for them as they get older.
And if someone's interested out there, give us a website.
Yes.
How do they get involved? Do they go to your website and then all the information is there to become part of everything?
Yes, it's just ChicagoGolfGals.com. We also are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and it's just Chicago Golf Gals. Keeping it easy.
That's where you're going to find all the information. Ro, just on your game for a moment, I can't help myself. Like, what's your favorite part of golf right now? Is it driving a ball? Is it putting? Just your game specifically
my game
right now.
Specifically, my driver is on timeout.
Timeout.
Like most of us.
It's on timeout. And it used to be my favorite club. I would say I love my wedges. The short game's pretty great. I would say comparable to everything else that's going on right now. It's the only thing that I think has been consistent. So if I'm scrambling off the tee, which I'm usually a mess off the tee, at least I can finish the hole strong.
I love that.
Yeah.
Have you been fit for wedges? Is this anything custom? Tell us about the wedges now that we're talking about them.
Now that we're talking about wedges. So it's funny, Maggie, she's on our board of directors. She's also on our leadership team. She actually just gifted me some new Wilson wedges.
Okay.
So I haven't tried them out yet.
Oh, this will be interesting.
This will be interesting. And I haven't told anybody this, but I actually have not been golfing because of the wedding coming up. I have some crazy tan lines. We're trying to even them out.
You're getting married.
I am getting married.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
One of my final questions is what do you want the golf manufacturers, the golf companies out there, what do they need to know about women's golf that might be lacking? I mean, you go to PGA Tour Superstore, it's a lot for the men. There's a women's department, and I see women's clubs, but when I hear about hundreds and hundreds involved with this group, and it's growing, what do you want to see when you walk into a store? What's lacking?
Well, I can speak for a lot of the women that do want to shop for more clothing. I think there has been an improvement in the last few years with golf fashion for women. There's a lot more emerging brands that are women owned and also designed by women, so they understand what women need in terms of style and comfort. So, when you walk into a space, like, you want to see something that is more functional, something that you can wear off the course too.
Yeah.
I think that's important. Like, I'm wearing a brand right now that I can wear on the golf course, but we're inside and I can wear it to a meeting. I think that's great. Something multifunctional is awesome. Something that you can feel good into. So,
Steve,
Fantastic.
you had a home run with that question. That's a good one because it's so true when you go in. Like, that's not our
It's
lens.
like lefties too.
That ain't our lens.
Everything
you're right,
is built for the righty golfer.
Yeah.
But I think about women. I mean, I love the big box stores.
Sure.
Because wherever you go, PGA Tour Superstore, Golf Galaxy, Dick's. We love Chicago Bills.
Yeah.
And you're always thinking about the women because you bring the attention to there's women involved and more women wanting to get involved with the game.
absolutely.
And where do they go? Where do they shop? And there's got to be access for them.
100%. I think that, a lot of these bigger stores need to pay attention to a lot of these brands that are coming up right now because they're putting in a lot of time and effort and love into giving the girls what they want.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
So
We I don't think you had the chance to run into Ro at the PGA show. She and I ran into one another, but
In Orlando?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. We did.
Good.
There's a
Glad
lot
you
of good.
got in. That's awesome.
it was awesome.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
good things happening. So
Oh, yeah.
hearing it from your side in that regard, it's just golf's going nuts, and some brands are trying things that are a little out of left field, but I think now is a time to.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I could take probably another hour on that.
Yeah.
No, Ro, been awesome. Glad to have you in Chicago Golf Gals. It's been informative, but also just thanks for shining a light on that and coming in and joining Kash and Matty here today.
My last question: future.
Yes.
What do you hope to grow this to, and where does it go? Next 5 years.
Oh,
Great question. Our goal is to emulate what we're doing here in Chicago and apply that into other states and areas that don't have the luxury of playing year-round golf. Especially in places where it's not as saturated too. I'm talking about like not Scottsdale, not Florida, Midwest states. we plan to expand. We plan to have the same type of community here with other spaces as well. And we hope to have more collaborations and partnerships with other organizations and other local businesses too.
Amazing.
Great stuff.
Love to hear it, Ro.
Yep. Congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
Sitting on a Saturday afternoon wondering how I can get more women involved, and it's grown to this. That's a great success story.
It's impressive.
Absolutely.
Impressive.
Ro Zamora, founder, Chicago Golf Gals. Continued success, Ro.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And closing out our show with a little equipment banter. And what's today's topic, subject, piece of equipment you want to discuss, Matty?
Yeah, let's talk rangefinders and rangefinder technology.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to ask you this, Steve. Over the years, what type of stuff have you used? Is it always the point and shoot? Have you tried a watch? Do you not use a rangefinder?
Very good question. I'm not comfortable wearing any kind of watch on the golf course. I never have. I know people that do, and they, get in
Always
there.
tapping.
Yeah. No, I've always used a rangefinder.
Yeah.
Okay, and I like one. Does it have to have slope on it? Not necessarily. I lose a number of rangefinders because I always put the magnetic part on my cart. My one is lost right now. It's at a course waiting for me. One thing
you made the call.
Oh,
you made the
my
call
goodness.
to have it?
Well, I used to put my car keys inside the box, right, that
Okay.
holds the rangefinder, so that when I go for my car keys, hey, my rangefinder's not in there. But now I drive a Tesla, so I don't have car keys anymore. It's through my phone. But I got to find a way to not lose rangefinders.
You're using the magnet feature, yeah.
Yes,
That's where
love the magnet feature.
Yeah, but that sounds like that might be doing you in.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit, it is. It is. Where else do you store it, though? It's so convenient, though,
I
to put it
know.
right on the bar of the golf cart.
So a couple years back, I was the tapper on the watch.
Were you?
And I could still go that route. The band broke, and then I never went about just replacing that band.
Yeah.
But I liked that as, for me, it was a way to not have to pull something out every time, point, shoot, this, that, and the rest. The last 2-3 seasons, I've been a point and shoot rangefinder guy.
Good.
Slope, not slope. You're right. I usually have it on. I usually do have slope
I don't play
on.
tournament golf, so it's okay with the slope.
Right. Same idea. But I've just found the accuracy to be great. Once you get into the rhythm of using it,
Right.
No problem there. But why don't we tell them, Steve, I know you took a couple notes, share a few things. We got in touch with Cobalt, right? Direct to consumer. We kind of teed them up at the beginning of this, but I think we got lucky, like in all the right ways. We got our hands on, each of us, the QZ6 slope.
It is
versions.
a beautiful product. Cobalt, Cobalt, and we got them. We tried them, and I said we got to talk about this on the show because they are really good. Okay, 6 to 12 time optical zoom. All right, and Matt, it's got a special feature that I've never seen on a rangefinder, and you described it best to me.
You're talking about the zoom, right?
It. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's talking about the zoom, and I've used this out on the course a little bit now. I'm gonna hold it up. It's a dial right on the side here, right in front of the eyepiece. That's that 6 to 12 times zoom. So you ask yourself, like, why or when am I gonna zoom? Like, if I'm 1,000 yards away, or if I want to look across the golf course, that's not very practical. What is the zoom about? Here's a great example. You're 300 yards away. You hit a tee ball. You want to know if your ball's in the rough or the fairway bunker,
or out of bounds.
This is where I was going. Guys like us, more applicable. It's like, is that ball OB?
Yeah.
Do I need to re-tee? Should I just drop up there anyways? Whatever your story you want, whatever you want it to be, right? But I find that quite useful. And I've already, this Cobalt one specifically, the QZ6, zooming in on, yes, like an OB line or a pin location. Say you're on the tee box. Here's a trouble. Let's say you're playing a short par 4.
Yep.
Shorter par 4. See what the slope of the green looks like a little bit. Should you actually try to drive it? I don't know. Steve,
you can, I can't, but
well, it depends on what truly the length of this. I'll tell you, the TaylorMade QI10 driver. That thing has been an absolute banger for me. I love that driver. But yeah, the Cobalt, it's waterproof as well.
Yep. It's got a great magnet. It's very well made, right?
Incredible.
It's
They got I don't know if they got John Daly Jr.
Do they?
Game in these. Yeah. You got anything else to say about it? I mean,
I do. Let me read some notes here. Waterproof magnesium chassis with a magnetic mount. All right. Visual lock with vibration. I love the vibration.
Sure.
Right. When you lock in on something like that.
Yep.
9 brightness settings. That's different. Brightness settings, right? And a slope switch to turn off for tournament play. So if you're in a tournament, you just turn off the thing.
I mean, the weight, it's well made, but
it's beautiful too. It's got the cobalt, blue and black. But no, I was surprised. I was, I'm not surprised, but impressed. Yeah, it's got a beautiful case too. So Cobalt, I think they're doing some great stuff there.
I think for you, Steve, that I think the blue is bright. It's beautiful.
It is.
This thing needs to be like strobing blue for you to not lose it. I don't know. Are they going to come out with the strobe version or what? I don't know. That blue, at least it's not all black, or because most of the time when you're in the cart, right, it's up there. That's just like a black magnetic pole.
True. Yeah.
So the color there, maybe they'll make a cash version that is just signals for you. But yeah,
and
good
it's
product.
Direct to consumer, so they're not selling them at the big box stores, right? Cobalt. And it's all in the same price range as you see the Bushnells and
different models. Different models for sure, but
I think they have a winner there. I really do.
It's been good so far. I'm excited to use it the rest of the season. Steve, let's I hand the keys, even though you drive a Tesla and you don't have keys. I'm handing the keys to you to wrap the show because you always do a heck of a job. Would you wrap the show up for us today?
I will. Well, many thanks to the good people that we work with. Laird Crawford. We're in Laird's Pub here, Park Ridge, Illinois, our studio and our beautiful 4-camera multi-lighting shoot for Will Ojeda, who does a marvelous job editing. Chris Pruner also helping getting our podcast on the various airways, so to speak.
Yep.
For Matt Smith, I'm Steve Cashel. Thanks to Rose Zamora for joining us here, part of the Chicago Golf Gals, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.